Can your lungs actually rebuild after years of damage? It's one of the most searched questions in respiratory health. And the answer most people get is either falsely optimistic, yes, your lungs completely heal, or falsely final, no, the damage is permanent, nothing helps. Both answers are wrong. And the correct answer is more useful than either extreme. In this video I'm going to give you the honest answer based on what the research actually shows, what can rebuild, what can't, and the specific protocol that supports the functional recovery that is genuinely possible. Including the vitamins with the strongest evidence, the breathing techniques with documented lung function benefits, and the supplement formulation I use personally for ongoing support. Stay for the full protocol at minute 16. It's the practical part that most videos skip. Let's start with the honest answer to the question everyone is really asking. The lungs are made up of several distinct structures. Some can regenerate. Some cannot. Understanding the difference changes everything about how you approach recovery. What cannot regenerate? Alveoli, the tiny air sacs where oxygen exchanges into the bloodstream, that have been destroyed by emphysema do not regenerate in humans. The scar tissue from severe fibrosis does not dissolve. Structural damage from advanced COPD does not reverse. What does recover, and significantly? The airways themselves, the bronchi and bronchioles, recover their function over time when the damaging input is removed. The cilia, paralyzed by smoke chemicals, begin to regain their motility within weeks of quitting smoking. The epithelial lining of the airways repairs and replaces itself continuously, the entire lining renews in about a month in healthy conditions. The mucosal immune system recovers its competence. Chronic airway inflammation resolves progressively. Blood flow to lung tissue improves. In practical terms, if you have emphysema with destroyed alveoli, your total lung capacity doesn't return to what it was at 20. But your functional breathing capacity, how well the healthy tissue you have works, can improve substantially. Less chronic inflammation means less airway narrowing. Better mucus clearance means less obstruction. Recovered cilia function means better pathogen defense and less infection frequency. The analogy I use, if you lose 3 fingers in an accident, they don't grow back. But the hand you have left can regain function, strength, and coordination through rehabilitation. That rehabilitation is real, meaningful, and worth doing, even though the fingers don't regenerate. Lung recovery works the same way. Here's the documented recovery timeline after quitting smoking, the most studied form of lung damage recovery. Within 20 minutes, blood pressure and heart rate drop toward normal as carbon monoxide leaves the bloodstream. Within 72 hours, the airways begin to relax as bronchospasm reduces. Breathing feels slightly easier for most people within the first 3 days. 2 weeks to 3 months, cilia begin recovering function. The paralysis caused by smoke compounds reverses as the chemicals clear from the airway tissue. Mucus clearance gradually improves as cilia start moving again. 1 to 9 months, chronic productive cough decreases significantly. Cilia are increasingly functional. The lung's self-cleaning mechanism is working better. Breathlessness during physical activity begins to reduce. 1 year, the risk of coronary heart disease is halved compared to a continuing smoker. 5 to 10 years, the risk of mouth, throat, esophagus, and bladder cancers drops by 50%. Stroke risk approaches that of a non-smoker. 10 years, lung cancer risk is approximately half that of a continuing smoker. 15 years, risk of coronary heart disease is similar to someone who never smoked. This timeline is for quitting alone, without any active support protocol. With active nutritional and supplemental support, the early phases of this timeline accelerate. The cilia recover faster. The inflammation resolves sooner. The mucus clearance improves more quickly. Now the direct answer to what vitamin heals the lungs. There isn't one vitamin that heals the lungs. There are 4 with the strongest evidence. and they work on different aspects of lung recovery simultaneously. Vitamin D, the most important for immune-mediated recovery. Vitamin D receptors are present on the cells of the airway epithelium, the alveolar macrophages, and the smooth muscle of the bronchial walls. When vitamin D levels are adequate, these cells function better across every dimension relevant to lung recovery. They produce less inflammatory cytokines, they maintain epithelial barrier integrity, and they mount more effective antimicrobial responses. A landmark study in the European Respiratory Journal found that vitamin D supplementation in COPD patients significantly reduced the rate of acute exacerbations, the inflammatory flare-ups that cause the most rapid decline in lung function. Another study in thorax showed that adequate vitamin D was associated with significantly better lung function scores, FEV1 and FVC, across a large population sample. For anyone with a smoking history or chronic respiratory condition, getting vitamin D levels to the 50 to 70 nanograms per milliliter range is one of the highest leverage interventions available. It costs almost nothing and affects essentially every aspect of lung immune function. Vitamin C, the structural rebuilding vitamin for the lung. Collagen is the scaffolding of the lung. The alveolar walls, the airway lining, the blood vessels within the lung, all of these are maintained by collagen. And collagen synthesis requires vitamin C as an essential cofactor. Without vitamin C, the structural repair mechanisms slow significantly. Beyond collagen, vitamin C is the primary water-soluble antioxidant in the epithelial lining fluid, the thin liquid layer coating the inside of your airways. This concentration is up to 10 times higher than in blood plasma. The lung specifically concentrates vitamin C there because that's where it's needed most, as a first-line defense against the oxidative stress that comes with every breath. Smoking dramatically depletes vitamin C. Each cigarette destroys an estimated 25 to 100 milligrams of vitamin C through direct oxidation. Ex-smokers often have chronically low vitamin C stores even years after quitting, especially if their diet doesn't actively compensate. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that vitamin C supplementation improved markers of oxidative stress in the lungs of former smokers and was associated with improved functional capacity. The optimal dose for lung benefit appears to be between 500 and 1,000 milligrams daily, well above the standard 90 milligrams RDA. Vitamin E, the fat-soluble lung antioxidant. While vitamin C protects the water-based compartments of the airway lining, vitamin E protects the fat-based compartments, specifically the cell membranes of the epithelial cells and the alveolar macrophages. Together, vitamin C and E form a complete antioxidant system that covers both the water-soluble and fat-soluble aspects of lung oxidative stress. A study in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that higher dietary vitamin E intake was associated with significantly better lung function and slower lung function decline over time. The effect was especially pronounced in individuals with a history of smoking. And then NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which is technically not a vitamin but functions as the most critical precursor to the lung's master antioxidant, glutathione. Glutathione in lung tissue performs two functions critical to recovery. First, it neutralizes the oxidative damage that accumulated during the damaging period and continues to accumulate from environmental exposure. Second, it directly modulates mucus viscosity. Low glutathione produces thicker, stickier mucus that's harder for the recovering cilia to clear. NAC supplementation has a Cochrane review-level evidence base for chronic respiratory conditions, the highest standard of evidence synthesis in medicine. It significantly reduces exacerbation frequency, improves mucus clearance, and supports the glutathione replenishment that makes real lung recovery possible. NAC is one of the 5 compounds in the supplement I use for ongoing lung support. Combined with mullein for direct mucolytic and anti-inflammatory action, ivy leaf for bronchodilation, thyme for antimicrobial protection, and elderberry for immune support, it's the formulation that most completely covers the recovery protocol I'm describing. Link is in the description and pinned comment. Now the breathing techniques. And here I want to address 2 specific questions that come up constantly. Can breathing exercises actually lower blood pressure, and can breathwork help with POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome? The answer to both is yes, with specific mechanisms and important context. For blood pressure, slow diaphragmatic breathing at 6 breaths per minute, sometimes called resonance frequency breathing, has documented effects on the autonomic nervous system. A meta-analysis published in the journal Hypertension found that slow-paced breathing significantly reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure in hypertensive patients. The mechanism is direct. Slow deep breathing activates the baroreflex system, stimulates the vagus nerve, and shifts the autonomic balance toward parasympathetic dominance, the rest and recovery state that allows blood pressure to normalize. For POTS, slow breathing helps by stabilizing the autonomic nervous system dysregulation that drives POTS symptoms. Heart rate variability biofeedback using slow-paced breathing has been studied specifically in dysautonomia and shows improvements in heart rate stability, reduced orthostatic symptoms, and better exercise tolerance. It doesn't cure POTS, but it's one of the few non-pharmacological interventions with consistent evidence for symptom reduction. For lung rebuilding specifically, 3 breathing techniques have the strongest evidence. Diaphragmatic breathing trains the diaphragm as the primary breathing muscle, improves lower lobe ventilation where mucus accumulates, and consistently improves oxygen saturation and breathing efficiency in people with COPD and chronic respiratory conditions. Pursed lip breathing, slows exhalation, creates positive pressure that keeps airways open longer, and reduces air trapping in people with obstructive lung disease. Simple, no equipment, immediate effect. Box breathing, 4 counts in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. Regulates CO2 tolerance, improves breath control, and reduces the hyperventilation patterns that many people with respiratory conditions develop as compensation. 20 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing practice daily, shown in research to improve FEV1 scores in COPD patients over 8 weeks. Here is the complete lung rebuild protocol based on everything I've covered. 5 components working together. Component 1, eliminate the damaging input. Nothing else matters as much as this if smoking or vaping is still active. Every supplement and every breathing exercise is fighting against an ongoing injury. Stop the injury first. Component 2, correct the 4 key nutritional deficiencies. Vitamin D to 50 to 70 nanograms per milliliter. Test first, supplement to target. Vitamin C at 500 to 1000 milligrams daily, split doses. Vitamin E at 400 IU from mixed tocopherols. NAC at 600 to 1200 milligrams daily, the doses used in clinical research. Component 3, active mucolytic and anti-inflammatory support. This is where the plant-based formulation comes in. Mullein to break down existing mucus and reduce airway inflammation. Ivy leaf to open the airways and improve cilia function. Thyme for antimicrobial protection. Elderberry for immune support. All 5 together cover the clearance and inflammation sides simultaneously. Component 4, daily breathing practice. 20 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing, split across 2 sessions if needed. Pursed lip breathing during any activity that causes breathlessness. Box breathing for autonomic regulation if you have POTS or blood pressure concerns. Component 5, hydration and movement. 2 liters of water daily minimum, mucus clearance requires fluid. Light to moderate physical activity, even walking 30 minutes daily, improves lung circulation and lymphatic drainage. The body heals faster when it's moving. This is not a 30-day protocol. Lung recovery is measured in months. But the first measurable improvements typically appear within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent implementation, easier breathing, less morning mucus, improved exercise tolerance. The deeper structural benefits accumulate over 3 to 6 months. The supplement component of this protocol, NAC, mullein, ivy leaf, thyme, and elderberry in standardized doses, is available at the link in the description and pinned comment. I use it as part of my ongoing protocol. The ingredients are real. The mechanisms are documented. The The label is transparent, the honest answer to can your lungs 100% recover structural damage that's already occurred, destroyed alveoli, advanced fibrosis, does it reverse? But functional recovery is real, significant, and supported by a strong evidence base. The cilia recover. The airway inflammation resolves. The mucosal barrier rebuilds. The immune competence returns. And all of that translates into meaningfully better breathing, less mucus, fewer respiratory infections, and a functional quality of life that people often assume is permanently lost. The 4 vitamins with the strongest evidence for lung healing: vitamin D for immune regulation and epithelial integrity, vitamin C for collagen synthesis and antioxidant protection, vitamin E for cell membrane protection, and NAC as the glutathione precursor that drives the master antioxidant recovery. The 3 breathing techniques: diaphragmatic breathing for lower lobe ventilation and diaphragm strengthening, pursed lip breathing for airway pressure and air trapping, box breathing for autonomic regulation. The complete protocol: eliminate the input, correct the deficiencies, active mucolytic support, daily breathing practice, hydration and movement. If this gave you a clearer picture of what's actually possible, share it with someone who needs to hear the honest answer. Not the falsely hopeful version, not the falsely final version. The real one. Subscribe to CPTricks. New health content weekly. Link for the supplement is in the description.